My name's Will, and I've run 33 marathons.
33 marathons, and let me tell you, on 7 continents and the North Pole. But I was surprised to find out what Will set out to accomplish was not even close to what he ultimately achieved. Let me show you. So Will started out here, and he achieved his sensational goal of running 33 marathons around the world. But his initial goal was only to go here. What he ended up actually achieving was much more. That's his super goal. And this is why I want to share Will's incredible story with you, so that you too can achieve more. Achieve your super goal. Will's story is full of surprises, and I had my first surprise as soon as he asked me this question.
Sean, how old do you think I was the first time I ran?
23?
Nope, a little higher.
34?
Nope, not quite. 42. I was 42 years old the first time I ran 42 kilometers.
There you go. Whatever your goal, it's never too late to take that first step. Well, I'm not much of a runner, but what better way to hear Will's motivating story than to immerse myself? Guess what I did? And clearly, Will always wanted to be a marathon runner, right? So Will, you always wanted to run a marathon?
No, not at all. What happened was, when I was about 42 years old, I realized I should be in better shape. And a friend of mine had just run his first marathon, and what he suggested to me was that I sign up to run a marathon with him the next year. So it was helpful to have that goal to aim for, but the other thing he said was the most helpful. He said, tell everybody you're going to do it. And that was what did the trick. Because once I put it on Facebook, I didn't have a choice. I had to follow through on it.
Will's first goal was to stay fit, but he clearly achieved more than that by running his first marathon. But he did not stop there. And as Will and I continued our run, he told me about his many other impressive marathon achievements right around the world. And these led all the way to him achieving his super goal.
Yeah, so one thing I'm really happy about is my Grand Slam experience, which involves running a marathon on all 7 continents and at the North Pole. Something that not very many people had done at that point. And that was great because it set a very long-term goal. It gave me some direction in my life. It was something that I couldn't do tomorrow, but I knew I could do with enough practice and preparation. You know, when I finished the 7 continents in Antarctica, I mean, that was unbelievable. That was like being in a National Geographic television special. And then, of course, the North Pole itself. Hardly anyone on the planet will ever go to the North Pole, and I've been there.
So we all start somewhere. Usually we start small with our first step, and we build on our achievements along the way. We progressively move from here, our starting point, to here, our super goal. But it all starts with that first step. And of course, it's not all smooth sailing. Along the way, there are lessons to learn and challenges to overcome. And it's these lessons and challenges that help us move upwards towards our super goal.
Really, the important thing for me was learning what I was capable of and learning what I could do and taking the confidence from that and bringing that into other situations. For example, coming back from Antarctica, I thought to myself, you know, I just ran a marathon in Antarctica, and if I can do that, I can do anything. And that was exactly what I needed because I had just started my own business. But that experience gave me the confidence.
An example of how each of our steps forward gives us the confidence and encouragement to push through and move up. But what about those times when we hit a wall and we get stuck? Well, how about getting stranded at the North Pole?
I expected to be there for about 36 hours, and I ended up being there for 4 days because the ice that we were on, where our camp was located, cracked open. And as a result, our airplane couldn't come back to pick us up. I couldn't do anything about that. All I could do was put on my gear and go out for a little 10-kilometer run. And what I took away from that was the idea that when things happen outside of your control, try not to worry too much about those and instead focus on the things you can control. Certainly overcoming the internal challenge, convincing myself that I could do this, that I could do something I had never done before. But another thing that really helped a lot was taking some of those people who were being very negative in my life and kind of pushing them aside and surrounding myself with people who were more positive, who were supportive, who were actually out running with me or who were checking in and kind of holding me accountable. I think you create your own environment.
Will leaves us with some very practical advice.
If there is something you've always thought about doing, something you've always thought about trying, just go for it. Just do it. Trust me, you have no idea how strong you are and how much you can do until you actually give it a try. Don't listen to people telling you that you can't do it, but instead just go ahead and take a shot. And when you do, and when you start to see some success, you will be amazed by how much confidence you get from that. And that confidence spills over into so many other parts of your life. And if I can get out there and do this, then trust me, anybody can do whatever it is they set out to do.
So are you excited about your super goal? The most important thing is to take that first step. Discover what you can really do and achieve your super goal. And in the meantime, be kind.